Hello students, welcome to EPG Pathshala. I am Professor Ipshita Bansal from BPS Women's University, Sonipat. Today we are going to talk on the module Components of Verbal Communication from the paper Business Communication. By the end of this module, you will be able to understand first what verbal communication is, second, the components of verbal communication, and third, when to use verbal communication. Verbal communication consists of sharing thoughts through the meaning of words. Stated by Penrose, verbal communication is the process which includes words, use of sounds, and language to convey a message. In verbal communication, information is shared among two or more persons using speech and language. It is vital to the processes of learning and teaching as it makes use of words, vocabulary, numbers, symbols, and is organized in sentences. According to Bovey, verbal communication is the expression of information through language which is composed of words and grammar. Communication refers to the suitable use of words and language necessary for effective interaction between people. Therefore, verbal communication is the process by which two or more individuals can share the feelings, opinions, information using either written or spoken words and languages. Verbal communication is highly important. It is required in every field of life, be it home, school, or office. It facilitates expression of our ideas. It is useful in making requests. It helps in solving problems. It reflects our attitude through use of words for power, affiliation, attraction, responsibility, etc. It is helpful in forming bonds and building relationships with other people. It is helpful in expressing observations, expressing thoughts, expressing feelings, and expressing needs. There are two components of verbal communication: oral communication and written communication. Let's now discuss the oral type of verbal communication. It consists of spoken messages which include exchange of ideas, questions, or comments. Few examples of verbal oral communication are face-to-face conversations, group discussions, counseling, interview, radio, television calls, mobile telephony, etc. Man is the only privileged species which can use language. Language is mostly used in speech and writing comes later. Oral communication has much wide and acceptable use when compared to written communication. As a part of everyday life, in informal relations or formal organizations, we communicate more orally than in writing. Oral communication is a building block of human relations. Without oral communication, any interaction is lifeless. Thus, its importance cannot be ignored. Let's now talk about formal versus informal oral communication. Informal oral communication is more widely used as compared to foreign communication, even in business organizations. The main reason is that communication is a two-way conversation, has a social impact, and is more convenient for face-to-face exchange of ideas rather than writing it down. Informal communication can also take the form of grapevine communication. informal system also has another quality which is known as ice breaking. It is vital in establishing the relationships. It helps in making the first move in any conversation. Most common examples are asking about the weather conditions, inquiring about the health of the family, etc. It is used to get started with the conversation with the person. Starting the conversation with these sentences creates the warmth in relationships and increases interests of the listener. Therefore, it promotes the communication further and expands the scope of various other topics. Along with informal communication, formal communication also takes place in an organization on a regular basis. Formal communication should be clear and well thought out process, as it is a vital part of interaction professionally. It also helps to boost the personal career prospects. These formal techniques of communication include meetings, group discussions, internal presentations, conducting interviews, providing trainings. All these are formal kinds of oral communication. Thus, we notice that both formal and informal types of oral communication flourish together. Let's discuss the components of oral communication. Basic components of oral communication are sound, words, speech, language, and conversation. Sound is the fundamental component of oral type of verbal communication. Without sound, oral communication cannot be initiated. Sound can include the use of words or languages or any other expression to communicate to another person. Even a newborn baby uses sound in the form of a cry or giggle to communicate their needs or communicate their happiness. Therefore, while using oral mode of communication, sound remains an irreplaceable component of the communication process. In the diagram, we see that a person is being subjected to sounds from variety of sources, from machines, from pouring of a tap, keys, clock, sounds in the environment, etc. And also, on the other hand, the person is able to make sound through his mouth to communicate messages to the other people. Second important component of oral communication are words. It is the most important component of verbal communication, both oral and written. Verbal communication is not possible without the use of words. Words have a lot of power. Many times, even a stand-alone word in itself is enough to communicate your thoughts to another person. They are combined to build larger elements of language, such as sentences and phrases. When spoken, there should be clarity in words so that there can be proper and effective communication. Lucidity is an important element of oral communication. So, care should be taken to use simple, small words and those words which are easy to understand. The way we talk, the words we choose to use are important aspects of effective communication. So we can say that a word changes the meaning, the mood, and the motivation. This is the power of words. While choosing the words, some points have to be remembered. As with written communication, one should keep the choice of words as short and simple as possible. This is much easier to do when speaking, since a natural speaking style tends to be simpler, but one needs to be conscious of it. One should be specially aware of the words when speaking at more formal occasions. So the points to be considered are: use strong and familiar words to make your concepts or ideas relevant to the experiences of your listeners. Use apt level of vocabulary. Never try to use words which are out of your comfort zone. Avoid making your language complex by using unnecessary words. Use repetition to emphasize key ideas. During a speech, never use complex or confusing words in the larger benefit of yourself and the audience. Think in advance how to say something in the best possible manner. If you are going to say which can upset or confuse other person, try using the clearest and kindest way to put across your thoughts. While giving a bad news, provide the background first to soften the blow. Speech is a more advanced component of oral verbal communication. It is the skill to use the sounds that help to form the language crisp and clear. It also refers to the accurate articulation and unique sounds in a specific order to convey meaning. For speech to be effective in a relationship or in a public setting, it should be conveyed with proper thought process and proper use of words so that no one finds it offensive. Also, an individual's personality and background reflects the speech. Therefore, an acceptable conduct or approach should be used for speech to be successful and at the same time to avoid any misunderstanding in the communication. Speech is a mode used to share feelings with one another, either in personal or public domain. When delivered effectively, it enhances the interpersonal relations. On personal level, it improves trust, creates comfort zone and respect. In public domain, an effective speech delivered to larger audience motivates and encourages them. It can help the speaker to connect with them at the grassroots level. On the other hand, if the articulation is not proper in the speech, it can have a negative impact on the listener. Effective speech helps to communicate the matters with such fineness that another person should be able to relate himself to that situation and feel it. It requires some effort for most people in terms of learning the rules of speech and practicing it. Always follow the rule of think before you speak. Aside from communicating ideas, speech also leaves lasting impressions. Language. Language is another component of communication using words, either spoken or gestured. It makes use of words along with grammar. A language usually has a script or writing system in place which is used while oral or written communication. It comes into existence when different words are put together to form a meaningful phrase or sentence. There are different languages spoken around the world, which reflect the culture and diversity of the people in different regions. Language helps in easy communication and sharing of ideas. Kresh in 1962 explained the major functions of language as under: Language is the primary vehicle of communication. Language reflects the culture and diversity of people in different regions. It also reflects the personality of the individual. Language facilitates the development, growth, and transmission of ideologies of different civilizations. And lastly, language connects societies and social groups. The figure will give the students an idea of the variety of languages and how a simple word of greeting, hello, can be spoken in different ways in different languages. It is also said that language and communication are different things that cannot be separated. Language is the only mode of communication which is widely used across the globe. Though language is not the only means of communication, but whenever communication is thought of, we always associate it with language. To use language skillfully, it is most crucial component of verbal communication as it requires appropriate expression of thoughts and feelings so that the message is properly understood. Use of language to convey meaning goes well beyond basic speech. It includes figurative expressions, literal descriptions, illustrations, and examples. Different languages are born from different cultures, and even same words may carry different meanings. These differences in languages can lead to some interesting situations, which can be funny or informative or awkward, or can even prove to be disastrous. Let's understand the importance of language in detail. Language helps in getting integrated socially and globally. The language that we speak influences our cultural identities and our social realities. We can adapt to different cultural contexts by purposely changing our communication through language. Language helps to know how our verbal communication discloses prejudice towards various cultural identities based on race, gender, age, sexual orientation, and ability. Language helps us express thoughts, conclusions, and judgments based on observations. Language is powerful. It helps to express our identities through names used by and for us. Language impacts our integrity based on how we put forward our ideas. It serves as a means of controlling, monitoring when spoken in authoritative contexts. Language helps in building interpersonal bonds through positive communication and can spoil the relations if language is not used properly. Language is fun. The productivity and limitlessness of language motivates some people to spend enormous amounts of time discovering new things about words. Conversation. Conversation can be viewed as an art form where one person ends his speech and the other responds. Conversation is incomplete if the message is not understood properly. The best way to understand people is to listen to them. Therefore, second important component of conversation after speaking is listening attentively. Being able to express yourself clearly is only half as important as being able to wait and listen. Listening attentively rather than just waiting for your turn to talk is the most basic part of verbal communication as it is impossible after all to communicate only with yourself. Thus, accepting and understanding the fact that any conversation is a two-way process between two or more people is important. The conversations between people include interjections, interruptions, trailing sentences, questions, topic changes, and any other random thoughts. All these verbal exchanges come together in a unique way to convey ideas. The figure beautifully shows the power of conversation or the function of conversation. We can see that through conversation, two people listen to each other, they understand each other, and then based on that understanding, they act. Let's talk about listening now. Communication process is incomplete without listening. The listening process includes receiving, understanding, evaluating, remembering, and responding to the originator's message. Listening is an active process by which we hear the communication, make sense of it, and respond to what we hear. Active listening requires the listener to provide feedback on what he or she hears to the speaker. Three main degrees of active listening are repeating, paraphrasing, and reflecting. A Chinese proverb states, "To listen well is as powerful a means of influence as to talk well, and is as essential to all true conversation." So, what are the advantages of oral communication? Oral communication should be used when one wants to appear informal, in case of inviting ideas and suggestions that are likely to spark off discussions. It should be used in case of complex matters where further clarification is required. It should be used for imparting important news such as company moves or bad news for the team and the organization. In such instance, written communication will not be a suitable mode. Oral communication should be used when one needs to be more diplomatic. It will be more effective in face-to-face conversation than in writing. It should be used for sharing personal bad news. When highly confidential matters have to be shared, but risk can't be taken of putting it down in writing, then oral communication should be used. There are certain disadvantages of oral communication as well. It is more informal and not suitable if you want to maintain distance with other person. It does not have permanent record of what is being communicated. Oral communication cannot be used for legal purpose as much as written communication can be used. Oral communication can spark the extended discussions even when you want the matter to be closed. Let's now revise the written type of verbal communication. This type of verbal communication does not require speech or sound. Though technically written communication is non-verbal, it falls under this category as it includes the use of words and language. Few examples of verbal written communication are books, letters, texts, newspapers, memos, reports, etc. A famous English writer, Francis Bacon, has said, "Reading makes people a full man, writing an exact man, conference a ready man, while speech comes to us naturally and is more spontaneous, writing requires considerable effort in terms of time and thought processes. The word write has been derived from the Old English word written, that means to scratch, draw, or inscribe. It shows that writing includes long processes of drawing, inscribing, or sketching, and letters, that is, alphabets in the language, are the result of evolution. Thus, written communication is a result of evolution of the entire process of thoughts, words, sentences put together in an expressive way to convey the message without use of speech or sounds. Every language has its own rules which need to be followed strictly, while speech is more flexible. Writings can be documented, but to document each word of the speech all the time is not possible. Written communication is more formal than oral communication. Various methods for written communication in a business organization are memos, notice boards, letters, email, faxes, internal newsletters, reports, company literature, advertisements, etc. Detailed explanation and discussion of these methods will be done in upcoming modules. Features of written communication are as follows. First, creative activity. Writing involves a lot of continuous creative effort to make the write-up more effective, illustrative, and complete. As compared to oral communication, written communication is more carefully thought out. There is an option in written communication to use the choice of words constructively. Second feature is it is a time-consuming process. Written communication is a time-consuming process. The very first person or initiator has to take time to draft a mail or a notice or a letter. After sending out the message, there is a time lag to wait for the reply of the message. On receiving the message, the recipient takes more time to decode the message and respond to it. Third feature is it has fewer cycles. In written communication, the chain of conversation is generally less as compared to oral. In oral communication, there are multiple cycles of conversation between two or more parties. Oral communication is best suited in personal and social life, while written communication is more suitable in formal business organizations. When a message has to be communicated to many people at different locations in different time zones, written communication is the best option. Written communication gives the sender of the message an authoritative power and the receiver a sense of responsibility to perform the required task. It is the responsibility of the manager to instruct the subordinate through paper, letter, or email. Written communication is an essential part of organizational life. Despite new technologies in place, importance of written communication cannot be undermined. We can say the mode of transmission of written communication has seen a shift from letters to mail, but importance of both medium is equally present. Let's discuss the advantages of written communication. Written communication gives an air of formality and authority to the communication. It can be used as a permanent record. It is more suitable to communicate with a larger group when exact information has to be sent to everyone. A complicated matter is better explained if it is in writing. Written communication can be used to avoid lengthy discussion face to face. It can be used as a diplomatic tool for a sensitive matter, as the words can be chosen carefully and few expressions avoided, which is a possibility in verbal communication. To let others know that a particular piece of information is in place, for example, including a recognition letter in company newsletter. Written communication can be used as a reference material for future tasks. For written communication, physical presence is not required when recipient is reading or decoding the message. There are certain disadvantages of written communication as well. Use of written communication is not recommended when people might need more clarification on the subject, or more discussion is needed before facts are established. Written communication is not recommended when informal or friendly environment needs to be developed for getting the work done, or when a sensitive information has to be communicated. Written communication is also not recommended when the information is highly confidential and there is a risk of leakage of the information through written mode. So students, let's now summarize what we have learned in this module. Verbal communication refers to the suitable use of words, sounds, and language necessary to convey a message and for effective interaction between people. Verbal communication consists of two components, oral and written. Oral communication consists of spoken messages which include exchange of ideas, thoughts, questions or comments. Few examples are face-to-face conversations, group discussions, counseling, interview, radio, television, talks, etc. It can be formal and informal in nature and uses sounds, words, speech, language, conversation, and listening. Oral communication is a good idea when one wants to appear informal. In case of inviting ideas and suggestions that are likely to spark off discussions for imparting important news or while sharing highly confidential matters. At the same time, the other component of verbal communication, that is the written communication, is also very important. Due to the advancement of modern technology, written communication remains the backbone of any organization. Almost all formal communications are done in writing. In comparison with the huge amount of informal oral communication, it may be possible that the percentage of written communication is very low, but no organization can do without it. Hence, both the components of verbal communication are vital for communication, either in personal or professional life. Thank you.